Welcome to Retirement Mentorship. I am your host, Freeman Lindy, CFP. Doug recently asked me, should I buy an index annuity? And I get this question often enough that I thought I'd finally address it here on the podcast, as it seems like, I keep getting the question, let's answer it directly. Should you buy an index annuity? No. No, you should not. Like all insurance products, index annuities were invented to capitalize on fear. Middling financial products are always lousy compared to the best interest financial plans. Since you're not listening to this podcast to be mediocre with your money, I'm assuming you'd rather get superior strategies than buy inferior inventions. So first, we'll examine why financial services reps, which again are salespeople calling themselves financial advisors, why these reps push these products so much. Then we'll discuss the cons that these reps are blowing over, which is way more than any benefits that these products pretend to provide. Everyone who has an index annuity or who has an advisor trying to sell them the product should listen to these episodes first. In this first episode, we're going to focus on what makes an index annuity so attractive to so many people. And then the next one, we'll talk about why those are not real. So first, what is an index annuity? Should you even be listening to this? Again, if you've never been sold an index annuity, if you don't have one, if you have no one trying to sell you one, you could skip this episode, though it might be interesting just as a window into part of the financial industry. But again, if you have one or someone's trying to sell you one, this will be crucial. What an index annuity is, it's an insurance project that tracks a market index, like the S&P 500. You can often pick lots of different indexes, but we're just going to stick with the S&P for this episode. You initially contribute a lump sum of money into these products in exchange for some benefits and protections, right? These products are very popular because of their pros and their hidden cons. There are many variations, many bells, many whistles that you can put on these things, but we're going to keep this general. If you have specifics about a specific question, right, I'm sure that maybe you have one that is slightly different than what we're talking about, and you're like, oh, but I don't know if this applies to the one that I have, the one that I'm being proposed. You can always email us at questions@retirementship.com. We can dig into the specifics of your contract. So let's look at why do financial advisors sell index annuities? Why do they sell these? And there are four main reasons that financial reps sell these products. 1, downside protection. 2, upside potential. 3, free, quote unquote. And 4, the commissions. So let's look at each one, right? Number 1, the downside protection of an index annuity. So you want to invest in the stock market, but you're afraid of the risk, afraid of losing money, right? Again, air quotes on all of those terms. Perhaps you've retired or you're close to retiring and you don't have enough time for the market to come back, and you know that you need to get a better return than CDs and savings accounts. So you meet with a financial advisor. The financial rep, which is what they really are, right? They represent the company that they're working for, not you, the client. The financial rep explains it this way. What if you could invest in the S&P 500 with no risk? We don't want you to lose 20, 30, or even 50% of your hard-earned money. So I recommend that we look at an index annuity. They track the markets, but they eliminate the risk. When the market is up, you make money. But when the market is negative, your money stays even. You will never lose money in this product. That sounds amazing. How does that work? Well, reason number 2, right? There's 2 types of this downside protection that you can have. The products vary a lot in terms of how that looks exactly, but often it falls into one of these 2 categories, right? Number 1, either they have a floor, which the product gives you some kind of worst case return if the market is down. It's usually 0%, right? So if the market's down, you'll never get less than 0. Sometimes it'll be lower than that, but that's often the floor is 0%. You can't lose money, right? If the market's up 5%, you get 5%. If the market is negative, you only get 0. Okay. Or the second way that it can give you a floor, the downside protection, is that it absorbs some of the losses. The product will absorb the first X% of losses. So in a 20% example, right, if the market returns negative 15%, you would get 0, right? Because if it's going to absorb the first 20% of losses, it's going to absorb all of negative 15. But if the market goes down negative 25%, it's going to only absorb the first 20% of that, and so you would get negative 5. Either way, right, that sounds pretty good. Either getting a floor or absorbing the first chunk of losses, that sounds like a pretty good plan. So what's the catch, right? Well, the potential up, and that's the other selling point, right? There's this big potential upside to index annuities. Uh, there are other products that don't lose money, right? You can always just put money in a savings account that doesn't lose money. You can put in a CD that doesn't lose money. U.S. Treasuries don't lose money if they're bought directly. So why buy this product? Well, index annuities have some of the upside potential of the market. The financial representative explains it this way. Hey, look, listen, because they track an index, when the market goes up, you make money. Right, and the more the market is up, and the markets are up more than they are down, and so you are usually making money in this product. In addition to preventing you or reducing losses in a few years when the market is down, you also make much better returns when the market's up than you would in a CD. And again, it's up more than it's down. Now, if they're taking the losses for us, they're also going to cap some of our gain, but that's okay. The important thing is to win by not losing. We can get a big chunk of the gains in the market and none of the losses. So that's a win-win. Index annuities have this floor, right? But they also have this cap. They will take the gains you have over the cap, which may be, the cap may be 5 or 10%, right? So they will contend that the floor and the cap average out, maintaining great returns without the risk. So again, floor being, if it's less than 0, you will never get less than 0. And a cap being, if the market is more than 10 and the index is more than 10% up, you will only get the 10. And if it's anywhere in the middle, you'll just get whatever the market does. The third major selling point for financial representatives is the cost of index annuities. And that is, a lot of them are free, right? Perhaps the best part of these indexes is that they are free. There's no initial fee or no ongoing fee to have your money in a standard index annuity. Free, 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 like in those TurboTax commercials. This is very appealing to cost-conscious investors and an easy selling point for financial reps. They then can average their total fees that they're charging you across all the large free product and claim that they have lower total fees to the client. They love selling the free nature of these products, right? And the last thing that they love so much is the compensation of an index annuity, which is anywhere from 3 to 10%. And this is a big selling point for the financial reps, right? And the one that they don't bring up to the clients. Like all insurance and annuity products, index annuities pay the commission, pay the rep a commission, right? They may be as low as 3%, and some fixed index annuities may be as high as 10%, with 6 to 7% being the standard. So again, you put $100,000 in, it pays 7%. They're earning $7,000 in commissions for selling you that product. The rep doesn't need to provide additional value or support. Once the sale is made, that check is cashed. They get it. Why wait 6 or 7 years to make that money on a managed account when they can just make it all now? Right. So again, the upside potential, the downside protection, the free cost, and the high compensation all make these products very popular among financial representatives. And so there's a lot of free chicken dinners out there, right? Come get a free meal and we'll teach you this cool financial strategy, and it's just an index annuity. And it makes a lot of sense that you see a lot of these, because if you just sell one $100,000 fixed index annuity, then you make $7,000. That's a lot of cash to be spending on chicken dinners, and you still have enough for your Maserati payment. So they make a lot of money off these things, and it makes them it's just a great recipe for a lot of sales. One other thing that I just want to differentiate between is the index annuity versus a fixed index annuity. Those are the two main subcategories. So a regular index annuity, these will typically have higher caps and lower ceilings or loss absorption, right? They will try to mimic the actual index of long-term returns. And I put that in quotes because no one ever holds these for long terms. Reps will sell them, wait till they're out of surrender, and then sell them a new one or a new shinier product when that money is available without the surrender penalty. So nobody actually ever holds these things for long term, but they'll claim these nice long-term returns that you can mimic. And so if the S&P 500 is averaging 10%, they're going to try to average that as well. And then on the other side, you have these fixed index annuities, and these products will usually have a 0 or a 1% floor and a 3 to 5% cap. So that much narrower band that you are going to get. And to call it an index is really a disservice to the index itself, right? A fixed index tied to the S&P 500 won't come anywhere near S&P 500 returns. Rather, when the S&P 500 is up, they will be on the high side of the range, and when it's down, they will pay nothing, right? So here's what they don't tell you about index annuities, right? They tell you all about the bells and whistles, and they just gloss over or completely ignore all the downside. So here's why you should never buy an index annuity. I'm going to give you 7 reasons, and then we're going to go into them in depth in our next episode so you can fully understand why these are horrible products. Here's 7 reasons why you should not buy one. 1, they lock up your money. 2, they have hidden costs. 3, the companies can change the parameters after you buy the product, but you're still locked in. 4, they average less than the index by design. So by design, they will do less than the index that they're claiming to track. Number 5, the floors and caps are skewed to be below average. 6, you miss out on dividends. And 7, they protect against something that is highly unlikely. So you have 3 reasons to buy one, 4 for them to sell it, and 7 reasons not to. So next week, we're going to cover more in depth those 7 reasons why you should not buy a fixed index annuity. If you have one or being sold one, be sure to tune in next week as well so that you can get the full picture on this lousy insurance product. We'll see you next week. Cheers. If you enjoyed that, you would love being part of our free membership community. It's called Retire Membership, and it has a host of benefits all for free. For example, you can always buy my book, 3D Retirement Income, on Amazon. But if you join us at Retire Membership, we will send you either a hard copy or paperback for free, provide the ebook and the audiobook so that you can listen to it if you don't have time to read it. In addition to that, we'll also provide you with a bunch of content that you can't get anywhere else. For example, we have our quarterly Retire Mentorship magazine, which comes out quarterly and has no ads whatsoever. It's just timely content to help you stay the course. We also have workbooks for our free online workshop to help you get the most out of those, flowcharts to help you make better decisions, and a weekly email to provide timely content that you can unsubscribe from at any time. We never ask for any payment information, and we never share your information with anyone else. We just want to provide timely content and help you stay the course to retire successfully and stay successfully retired. There's no reason to wait, so join us now at retiremembership.com, or you can click in the link in the description and it'll go right there. We can't wait to see you in the community. Cheers. This podcast is educational only and is not investment, tax, or legal advice.